Okay, so we talked about going from a frequency table into a bar graph. Now, what happens when they don't give us a frequency table? They just give us data. So you actually create a frequency table. So you look at your data and I see 80s, 90s, 70s, I see 60s, I see some 50s and some 30s. I don't see any 40s, but that's okay. I know that my numbers go from 30 to a little over 90, so we could round up to about 100 because it's 97's out of 100. So we're going to say, man, all of my data, it really ranges from the 30s all the way to the hundreds. So then I know that, okay, so I have 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different intervals. So remember whenever we talked about the intervals, we have to have the same amount of intervals within each section. Like it has to be the same distance. So I could book the 30s and 40s, and then I could do the 50s to 60s, and the 70s to 80s, and then the 90s to 100. So let's see, 30s. So I would go from maybe 30 to, we could go to 49, and then we could go from 50 to 79, and then we could go from 80, I don't know why I just put that there, you could go from 80 to 99. And that gives me 20 numbers within each one. If you did 49 minus 30, that's 19, but then you have to count the 30, so that makes it 20. 79 minus 50, oh, that gives me 29, so that's not going to work. I meant to put 69 there. Sorry about that. Let's go back and fix that. So I had 30 to 49 here. And then right here, I'm going to do 50 to 69. And then I would go 70 to 89. And then 90 to 109. And it's okay if it goes over the piece of data that's there as long as all of your data is incorporated. And these don't have to be intervals like this. You could do smaller intervals if you wanted to. You could do larger intervals, like I could do 30s to 40, or 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and 90 to 99. And that would be perfectly fine. I'm just trying to make my bar graph just a little bit more condensed. If you wanted to see a more range of the data, then you would just make your intervals a little bit smaller. So now every time I go through one of these, I'm going to mark it out and put a tally in the box that it would appear. So 89 would go here. Then I have 95. I have 86, 75, 90, 81, 84, and it goes across like this, 78, 68, 88, 93, 76, 80, 82, 94, 97, 91, 84, and I kind of went out of my table, but that's okay. 77, 94, 98, 34, and 55. So now my data ranges anywhere between 1 and 12. So up this side is going to be, maybe I'll skip count by 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Remember, this set of numbers came from the amount of tallies that there are. There's 1, 2, 12, and 8. 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. I'm actually going to move that 12 up just a little so we have more of a definitive gap between those. And then at the bottom of my x-axis is going to be my intervals, which represents the scores. So we have scores between 30 and 49, We have scores between 50 and 69. We have scores between 70 and 89. And then we have scores between 90 and 109. Now you know that 109 is probably impossible because it's scores on projects, and most grades only go up to 100, but we're going to leave that interval there just for fun. Okay, so between 30 and 49, there was only one student who made between a 30 and a 49 on their project. So that's between 0 and 2. 50 to 69, there's only 2 students, so I'm going to go up just a touch and then go over. And then 70 to 89, there are 12 students, so that is the most. That is the mode of the data. So most of the grades are between 70 and 89. And then there are 8 students who score between a 90 and 109. Now, if I wanted to say, how many students scored 100, I wouldn't actually know that. I would just know that they belong in this category or within this interval. If I wanted to know how many students scored between a 30 and 49, I would say 1. That's a 1. But I can't say that that one student made a 30 or that one student made a 49 because their grade is between 30 and 49. We don't know. But this one is your interval category number 1, category number 2, category number 3, and category number 4.